Good morning, students. Welcome back to the third session of the chapter Two Gentlemen of Verona. So before we begin with our session, let us just brush up whatever we discussed in our previous session. Yes, in our previous session, studied how those two boys were helpful for narrator as well as companion. If they wanted an American cigarette, so these boys used to provide that. Or if they wanted a ticket in opera, they were getting that. Or if they wanted a suggestion of a good restaurant which provides a tasty ravioli, that is pasta, even that these boys were ready with the list of a good restaurant which provides good ravioli or a tasty ravioli. So like this, these two boys were very much helpful for this author as well as the companion. So anything they wanted, they could rely on these two boys. They were of a great help. And also, narrator draw a contrast between Nicola and Jacopo. Whereas being a younger boy, that is Jacopo, was as active as Quirrell. He was very much inquisitive, he was very much active, and he was childish enough. Whereas Nicola was very serious and mature one. The one thing which struck the narrator was their unremitting willingness to work hard. So any part of the day they were ready to do. So their main aim or the main purpose is to make money. So that is their aim. By rendering the service, they were getting money. Okay, not by cheating somebody or nothing. By working hard, so they were making money. So they made use of every opportunities available to them or given to them to the maximum so that they can earn the maximum amount of money. And these boys, they not just sold newspaper or shine shoes, they also did a lot of work. During mornings, they used to sell fruits and they used to shine shoes in a square. Later on, they used to hawk newspaper. They also acted as a guide so that they can take tourists around the city. And also, they ran errands. Like this, they made use of every opportunities that they were given. So they grabbed those opportunities and they earned how much ever money they can earn. So this much we learnt in our previous class. Let us continue. Open page number 103. One night we came upon them in the windy and deserted square, resting on the stone pavement beneath the pale arc lights. Nicola sat upright, his face drawn by fatigue. A bundle of unsold newspapers lay at his feet, while Jacopo, he head pillowed upon his brother's shoulder, was asleep. It was nearly midnight. So one night, after a very tiring day, narrator as well as his companion see these two boys resting on a stone pavement beneath a pale arc light. So whereas Jacopo was sleeping on Nicola's shoulder and he was taking rest, whereas Nicola, he sat upright. So he was sitting straight and he was looking very tired. Okay, it was a big day, it was a very tiring day, it was visible on his face. So he was sitting there, and whereas Jacopo was lying on his shoulder. And author also noticed that there was a bundle of unsold newspaper next to them. So this aroused the curiosity in narrator, because he had seen those boys working so hard from morning till evening, even at midnight, even nearly it is a midnight. So where instead of taking rest, these two boys were sitting and they were resting under a pale arc light with a bundle of unsold newspaper. So he wanted to know why, what is happening. So that's why he goes to those two boys and he talks to them. We'll see what they talk. Why are you out so late, Nicola? So out of concern, he asks Nicola, why is he out at this time or at that hour? Okay. So our author was really concerned about those two boys. He had started sharply as I spoke, but now he gave me his quiet, independent glance. So whenever author wanted to know anything, so this Nicola was so quick in giving response or very quick in giving answers. But now when he asked why are they sitting there, he just gave a independent glance, give response as quick as he was giving earlier or before. So he was quiet and he gives a response. Waiting for the last bus from Padua. We shall sell all our papers when it comes in. So why were they waiting? They were waiting for the last bus which comes from Padua. Okay. So they had a bundle of unsold papers. They wanted to sell those papers when the last bus comes from Padua to Verona city. What does this show? So this show their willingness to work hard. It explains the dedication towards their job, towards their work. So from morning till evening they had worked very hard. So they worked so hard, it was very tiring day. At those two boys were waiting. It shows the hope. They had to gain the maximum of what they can. There were a bundle of unsold newspapers. If we were in their place, we would have taken rest after a tiring day. But those two boys, look at their dedication and willingness to work. So for them, earning money was primary importance. They just wanted to earn money. For that, they were ready to sacrifice their sleep, food, everything. Must you keep at it so hard? You both look rather tired. We are not complaining, sir. So whereas our concerned author, he will ask, you both of you look very tired, why don't you take rest? So why are you working so hard? Like that he asks. But Nicola, he will ask immediately that they are not complaining, whereas they are happy doing the job. He had absolutely no problem in working this late despite being tired. He says he has no problem at all. He loves to do that. His tone, while perfectly polite, discouraged further inquiry. But next morning, when I went over to the fountain to have my shoes shined, I said, Nicola, the way you and Jacopo work, you must earn quite a bit. You spend nothing on clothes. You eat little enough. When I see you having a meal, it's usually black bread and figs. Tell me, what do you do with your money? So whereas author wanted to ask lot of questions, but Nicola will not entertain any questions after that. So whereas author as well as his companion, they will go to their room and they will take rest. Whereas next morning, again they could see these two boys were shining shoes with same energy. So author was so astonished to see these two boys, because previous night he saw those two boys, nearly it was midnight, sitting and waiting for the last bus which comes from Padua. But now next morning they were looking so fresh and they were walking so lively, they were so active. So he was astonished to see these two boys' dedication to work. On seeing them working so hard and shabbily dressed and eating relatively lower nutritious meal. So he says, as far as I have seen you people working, you make a lot of money. Though you make lot of money, what do you do with the money you earn? Because I have seen you people not eating nutritious meal, or you don't even spend your money on clothes. What do you do with all the money? Because you work, I'm sure you earn quite a bit more, right? So what do? You would have spent on that money on your clothes or food, but look at you, you still dressed shabbily. You don't eat food properly. So what do you do with the money? Like that he asks Nicola. He colored deeply under his sunburn, then grew pale. His gaze fell to the ground. So when author asked this question to Nicola, initially it made him blush. But after the initial blush, Nicola had an afterthought which made him feel sad and depressed. The blush on his face disappeared all of a sudden, and it became pale as it reminded of his miseries and problems which made him work so hard. And without answering anything to the question, he will just gaze the ground. You must be saving up to emigrate to America, I suggested. The narrator, he asked Nicola sarcastically, asks if he is saving up to move to America. He says, do you have any plans to emigrate to America? Because there is no job opportunities in Verona. So do you have any plans to go to America and settle there? So like that he will ask Nicola. He looked at me sideways, spoke to me with an effort. We should greatly like to go to the States, but here at present we have other plans. So he says, yes sir, we have plans to go to America or States once, but not now. We have bigger plans than that now. So right now we have some other plans to do. So we have some other things to take care of. Right now we don't have any plans to go to America or emigrate to States, but yes, we will definitely go once. But right now at this moment our priority is different. It's like that he will say. What plans? He smiled uncomfortably with the remote air which never failed to baffle me. Just plans, sir, he answered in a low voice. Arthur was curious to know about their plans. When he asks about their plans, Nicola felt uncomfortable. He did not feel like sharing his problems or his plans to him. He doesn't reveal his plans, whereas he says in a very low voice that he has some plans which he cannot reveal. So he doesn't reveal his plans because he don't want anybody to know about their problems. So that's why he will not reveal any of his plans to the author. Well, I said, we are leaving on Monday. Is there anything I can do for you before we go? So here we can witness another good gesture of the author. He wanted to help these two gentlemen. So he says that I'm going back to my place. Before I go, do you want me to help you? Do you want any help from me? So that I can help you before I go. Like that, offer his help to them. Do you think those two boys will accept offer to help? We'll find out now. Nicola shook his head, but suddenly Jacopo's nostrils quivered like a puppy's and he piped up eagerly. Whereas we all know the character of Nicola, so he doesn't want anybody to know their problems. So he says, nothing sir, nothing you can do. So we no need of any help from you. So like that he will shake his hand. He will say he doesn't need any help. But when author offered this help, when author wanted to help, Jacopo, which shows that he is immature, he was childish. So he immediately will say, I have something to ask. I need one help from you. Like that he will tell the author. Sir, he burst out, every Sunday we make a visit to the country, to Poleta, 30 kilometers from here. Usually we hire bicycles, but tomorrow, since you're so kind, you might send us in your car. So he says, yes sir, I have one favor to ask. So every Sunday we make a visit to a country, to Poleta. So again Poleta is a city which is just 30 kilometers away from Verona city. He says it is just 30 kilometers away from here. So every Sunday we go. So how do they go every Sunday? So every Sunday they used to hire bicycles. Since author has asked whether he can do something for them, since he is so kind to help, since he is so generous to help, he says, since you are very generous in helping, could you send us in your car? Every Sunday we go by bicycles. We take bicycles for rent and we will go. Since you are so kind, why don't you send us in your car? Like that asks. So here we can see the contrast between the behavior of those two boys. Whereas Nicola seems to be very mature and Jacopo seems to be very innocent and childish. I had already told Luigi he might have the Sunday off. So here when Jacopo asked a favor, he says, oh God, what happened? So before you could ask me, I have already given holiday, Sunday off to the driver, that is a cautious driver, Luigi. He is not coming for work on Sunday. However, I answered, I will drive you out myself. So here, even the author was inquisitive. Even he wanted to know where do they go every Sunday. That's why he says, I have given holiday, I have given off to the driver Luigi, but I will be available. I am free on Sunday. Since I am free on Sunday, I can drive myself and I can take you to Poleta. So like that, he will tell those two boys. There was a pause. Nicola was glaring at his young brother in vexation. So when the author himself says that he is going to take them, he is going to drive the car, there was a pause, there was a silence. So whereas Nicola, he was very much annoyed. Nicola was annoyed and he will be staring at Jacopo for asking or for troubling the narrator. We could not think of troubling you, sir. So whereas Nicola was not at all happy with this, he was not at all comfortable with this plan. He was so uncomfortable because he is the one, he didn't wanted anybody's sympathy. He did not like taking help from others. So because of which he says, no sir, we don't want to trouble you. So you don't need to take us, we will go by ourselves. Like that he says. It won't be any trouble. He bit his lip. Then in a rather put out tone he said, very well. So whereas author says, no, I have absolutely no problem taking you. So he was about to tell something, but he will bit his lip and he will control himself from telling that, and he says, I have absolutely no problem, I can take you to Poleta. I have no work, I am free, like that he will say. So here again it shows how kind the narrator was. Though Nicola was unhappy about this plan, he will agree to the plan. So we will stop it here. So we will continue in the next session. So in this session we learned that how dedicated these two boys were towards their work. So they were ready to do any sorts of job at any part of the day or a time. So their main aim was to make money. So for that they were ready to sacrifice their sleep, their food and everything. For them money was important. As there was very less job opportunities. They didn't want to miss any opportunities given to them. So that's the reason they made use of every opportunities given to them to make money. So this much we learnt. We'll see what happened, where did they go and what did they do in Poleta. We will see in the next session. Thank you class.